Has the president made any decision in the last 24 hours or so on what the U.S. response to the Syrian chemical weapons attack?
The president continues to work with his national security team, reviewing the options available to him. And when he has made a decision and has an announcement to make, he'll make it. So that process continues. So what I would say is that yesterday I made clear that the intelligence community is working on an assessment, and that once we had that assessment, we would provide information to the public about it in the coming days. And that remains true. I think that Fed speculation that it would come today rather than some other day. But it will come, and I think you can expect it this week.
You're very firm in saying just now that there's little doubt that the Syrian regime was in fact responsible for this chemical attack. So in that context, what is the purpose of this intelligence report? Is it to legitimize, to get rid of any remaining doubt and therefore legitimize a response in the eyes of the international community?
I'm not aware of any doubt that exists. I think that maybe if you take Bashar al-Assad seriously on these matters, you might have some doubt, but there's no evidence to suggest that he has any credibility when it comes to his statements about the use of chemical weapons in Syria. The actions taken by his regime in response to, in the immediate aftermath of this heinous attack, demonstrate his lack of credibility. And we believe that a careful review of the facts leads to the conclusion that the regime was behind this. Again, it's undeniable that chemical weapons were used on a large scale. We know that the regime maintains custody of the chemical weapons in Syria and uses the types of rockets that were used to deliver chemical weapons on August 21st. The opposition does not. We also know that the opposition does not have the capabilities that the Syrian regime has. And as I mentioned earlier, we have already had an assessment by the intelligence community with a high degree of confidence that the Syrian regime has used, on a smaller scale, chemical weapons in this conflict already. So suggestions that there's any doubt about who is responsible for this are as preposterous as suggestions that the attack itself didn't occur.
Secretary Hagel said, I guess it was yesterday, that if any action was taken, it would be in concert with the international community and within the framework of legal justification. Is any legal justification lacking prior to any action by the United States on this? And does the international community need any further convincing?
Well, I'm not going to make legal justifications for actions that haven't been decided upon. When the President makes a decision about what the appropriate response for the United States is, we will and he will provide ample context for the decision that he makes. But prior to that, I'm not going to speculate about what that context will be, because an announcement has not been made and a decision is pending as the President and his team review the options available to them.